Sure.
If you could tell a brand new immigrant one thing, just one thing, one sentence, what would you tell them?
Don't come in winter.
Stop. No. One more sentence. I came in the winter too. And it's for real. Like, it's true. Because then at least if you don't come in the winter, then, it's warm. So then it get a little bit chilly. And then it get cold. And then it get freezing. And then it get below freezing. And then, your body kind of just like, okay, oh. Not like, oh.
All right. One thing. I would have to say, after don't come here in winter, is do your research. Like real research. Not research part way. Like do a full research of where you're going, what the cost of living is, what you're planning to do, what the job market is, all of that, like what the housing is like. Do a full background research, not up to getting the permanent resident, what happens when you land here and what you'll need to do. Like that's what I think you should do, a full research so you know so you can plan, because that is what is very important. Like people try to execute without planning, or they try to plan without having information to make up the plan. So I think people should do research and get as much information as possible so they can have a plan and then they can execute the plan.
That was not one sentence.
Do your research.
That was not one. Okay, perfect. So do your research. And how do you think we, as told by Canadian immigrants, can help with that, right? Because it can get laborious, right? You can't see what application is, much less to find out, to know everything, right? Because I don't think they're going to think about everything, right?
Right.
Nobody thinks about car insurance. Like, it's going to be crazy, ridiculous when you come here, right? So how do you think we, as a community, as told by Canadian immigrants, can help people to prepare, help people to have an awareness, help with your preparation? Like
I think all we can do is keep reaching one person. I think that's the best way, right? Like if you impact me and I impact one person and that one person impact one person, then it will spread and it will get out there more and more and more, right? It's not like Christina trying to reach the entire world by herself, right? Like she has one guest on here and I'm a guest and I'm trying to reach somebody, right?
And somebody might connect with your story.
Somebody might connect with my story, right? And she spoke the other day about the point system, that points that you mentioned. And as soon as she shared it, a friend of mine in Cayman trying to come to Canada
that's the English test.
Yeah, he messaged me and like this. Thank you so much. Tell your wife thank you so much for that. It was a very timely episode. You know what I mean? So that he connected with that, right? Somebody else might connect with my story, and she shares something else, and it connects with somebody else, and that's how we can spread it. Just keep reaching one person at a time. I think that's the only way. I like the community angle that you're trying to create, a community of us, right? It's not just about you doing something. It's everybody on a whole.
If you could say one thing to somebody who is on their way here, who is looking to come here, a brand new immigrant, one thing.
You never pay for the doctor?
Yeah, healthcare is free. You can say that. You can say it in English.
Healthcare is free.
Relatively free.
Yeah, sure, right?
Relatively free.
It's not.
We're heavily taxed.
I mean, yeah.
One thing. If you could tell them one thing, one word of advice, one word of wisdom, one thing that you learned being here, even though you came here very young, it's going to be, of course, everybody's experience is going to be different.
Invaluable.
So anything of value that you could add to a brand new immigrant's life, or an immigrant that's already here, even.
Connections are everything.
Networking, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Networking. Meet as much people as you can. Network as much as you can. And don't burn bridges.
True that.
For real. Especially professionally. Especially the professional ones, You're always going to need a reference. You're always going to need a friend. you're always gonna need somebody that you just, you know, call, ask for a favor or something. Just network and never burn your bridges.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do you think, Kim? Do you like the idea of As Told by Canadian Immigrants and creating a community of immigrants to help current and future immigrants? How do you think we can help?
Well, be there, because a lot of times when people come here, they literally have nobody, and they come to family, but right, and I think that's everybody's story.
Yeah,
it's always different when they come to the family that they've known forever. So to just have somebody outside that they can talk to about something is good. I like the idea of the channel because then they get to watch and see that, you know, you're not alone in this. Like all of us have gone through this at some point in time, so can do this, you know. And then like later on you can talk about resources, you know, like where they can go to find information on if they want to be a permanent resident. Where do I go to find this? Or you know, who do I go to? You know,
and we have our immigration. We have a in-house, how you call it, resident lawyer. We have a resident lawyer.
You know,
Stupart Law.
Right.
Link is in the description below.
Shameless plug. So like put them onto lawyers.
Yes.
The lawyer.
The lawyer.
Put them onto the lawyer. Put them onto social communities. So if it's somebody that's coming from Antigua, if it's somebody that's coming from Jamaica, put them in, you know, in that community.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And then
kinsmen.
Of course, you have children. There are people who will come here with children.
Right.
And there's people who we know that have come here with children. And it's a little bit of a struggle. It's been and still kind of is a little bit of a struggle with how much daycare costs, right? And so maybe we know a budget daycare that's safe for your children and that's beneficial for your children, but still affordable.
Right.
Because I feel like that's something that's we might have to create on our own.
Yeah.
But it might be something that you know as a mother, right? Yeah.
But like,
community is important.
Key.
Yeah, and we're trying to create a community. Like, we don't know each other personally, not yet. Like, I've been talking to some people on Instagram that message me and they're telling me their journey. Like, oh, I'm almost about to do my test, and they're keeping me up to date. And we're kind of like virtual friends, and we are a virtual community. And that you can join the community, you can watch these videos, you can take what you get from it. Not everyone is going to be relevant to everybody, but there will be one that will speak to you and resonate with you, and that will be of value to you, right? Yeah. And then some of them are just plain fun, like our charades one. You have to check out our lessons learned from that first leg of my entry into Canada. One, consider the time that you're going to travel in terms of, is it high season, being Christmas, New Year's, there's usually high season, or March break, right? Consider availability of plane tickets and consider the cost of plane tickets. My plane ticket was 500 Canadian dollars. It's a one-way ticket to Canada, just because of the New Year's, right? Normally, a round-trip ticket is probably close to $600 or $700, but a one-way ticket was $500. But my grandfather's heart for sponsoring me that plane ticket, but that was not an anticipated expense in terms of that much. Also, from that experience is, if you're not familiar with the visa application process and you think you're saving money by doing it yourself, you might be wrong. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do it on your own, but it is probably your chances of success are higher if you just get somebody to help you, right? Whether it's paid help or somebody who's done it before, but ask somebody to review your application for you to ensure that you have everything that you need so that you have a higher chance of success. 2, you are more guaranteed. I'm not saying nothing is a guarantee, but you have a higher chance of success at getting the visa if you actually pay for some of your school fee, which is usually half of your school fee or one semester of tuition, right? I will have somebody later on in the show who has had everything on his visa application. Fine, perfect application. and still got rejected because they're like, you are not actually showing me enough information that you're actually coming here to come to school. So, lessons learned. If you could tell a brand new immigrant or somebody who is looking to come here one thing, one word of advice based on your experience, what would that one thing be?